Generation of high DC voltage by using Cockcroft-Walton type voltage multiplier circuit. Understood? So this is one of the concept. So to generate very high voltages. Okay. So by using voltage doubler circuit concept. It's clear. By using voltage doubler circuit concept, so we have to discuss generation of high voltage DC. Okay. So Cockcroft-Walton voltage multiplier circuit. So Walton and Cockcroft, two scientists, the concept was developed by these two scientists, Cockcroft and Walton. Okay, that's why they are given a name as Cockcroft-Walton voltage multiplier circuit. It's clear. So today, so learning objectives. So these are the different types of learning objectives. Today we have to discuss. These are the different types of important concept. Next, generation of high voltages. That first, how to generate high voltage DC using Cockcroft-Walton voltage multiplier. Okay, and effect of circuit parameters on voltage ripple. Voltage ripples are the generation of high voltages. How they are affecting on the generation of high voltages. Okay, effect of circuit parameters on voltage regulations. Okay, so voltage regulation. The circuit parameters also affect on voltage regulation. Voltage regulation nothing but voltage drop. Okay, so no load to full load. So the voltage is changing. Right. What are the optimum number of stages to minimize the voltage regulations? So these are the different types of concepts we have to discuss today. So all of you draw this circuit diagram. So this is gonna now the so Cockcroft-Walton voltage multiplier circuit. So try to concentrate here. So this is the box is a voltage doubler circuit. Up to here this and voltage doubler circuit C1 D2 D1 C2 C1 C2 and D1 D2 transformer. Up to this part is called voltage doubler circuit. Am I right or not? By using voltage doubler circuit, we have to generate high high voltages. Okay. So in this voltage doubler by connecting the number of voltage doubler circuit in series or cascade manner. Okay. So we have to generate very high voltage across the load like this. So you know well by using voltage doubler circuit, we are getting yeah 2 volts na here 2 volts across the capacitor C2. So we are getting across the C2 2 volts and then 4 volts 6 volts 8 volts. Okay, so like this these all voltage doubler circuits are connected in cascade manner or series connection. Okay, these all voltages are added together and then that much of voltage appear across the load. Okay, but you are required only one transformer, high voltage transformer. Okay, by using only one single transformer, we have to generate very high voltages. Okay, so very high voltage we are to generate across the load by using only single transformer. Okay, by using capacitors and diodes and the power diodes and capacitors. The range of capacitors are very high. Okay, and also the operating range of diodes also very high. Okay, the storage capacity of the capacitors are in the range of kilovolts. Okay, then only it is possible to generate very high voltages. If the range of capacitors are less, it's very difficult to generate very high voltage. Okay, and also power handling capability of diodes are also very high. Then only it is possible to generate very high voltage. Okay, if you are using electronic diodes, okay, if you are applying high voltages, they may burn. Am I right? So to handle the very high voltages, so we required power diodes. So okay, you know well the operation of the voltage doubler circuit during negative half cycle. During negative half cycle, here high potential and here low potential. Am I right? Here low potential and high potential. Because of that high potential here, the diode is forward biased. And capacitor charges to V maximum in this polarity, plus minus. Am I right? And diode D2 is reverse biased. Am I right? Diode D2 is reverse biased. Diode D1 forward biased. Because of that, capacitor C1 charges to V maximum. Okay. During negative half cycle, during positive half cycle, okay, under positive half cycle, here low potential, the lower potential means the diode D1 is reverse biased. Diode D1 is reverse biased under low potential condition. Okay, and D2 is forward biased. So like that, the current charging across the capacity C2 like this manner. So that's why we are getting 2V maximum. So double the voltage, supply voltage. Here V maximum, here V maximum. 2V maximum, you have to get like this manner. Okay. So I'm already explained this concept by using voltage doubler circuit in previous lecture. So like that, we are getting high voltage, double the supply voltage. We are getting like this here. Okay. So try to consider it. During negative half cycle, under circuit operation, by using positive half cycles, we have to discuss. So try to consider here. Rectifier D1, D2, C1, C2 transformer voltage under doubler circuit. You know well. Higher voltages here. Try to consider higher voltages. 4 volts, 4, 6, 2 times the input voltage V can be obtained by using N stage connected in series. Am I right? That means here across this capacitor C2, 2 volts, 4 volts here, capacitor 4 volts, 6 volts, 8 volts, 10 volts. Okay, like this, so the voltage goes on increasing. If you are connecting more number of stages, that means 2 times voltage we are getting. 2 n times. If the number of stages are, for example, number of stages are 2, that means 4 times 4V times voltage we are getting across the load. 4V. Okay, the supply voltage V, that means the voltage across the load is nothing but 4V. Okay, if you are using 2 stages, if you are using 6 stages, for example, 6 stages, 2 n is nothing but number of stages. 2 6 are 12. 12V. That means compared to supply voltage, 12 times the voltage appear across the load. So in this way, you have to generate very high voltages. Okay, by connecting number of voltage doubler circuits like this manner. Here 2 volts, 4 volts, 6 volts, 8 volts. So like that goes on increasing the voltage across the different types of loads. Understood? During negative half cycle, so D1 in voltage doubler circuit only D1 is reverse biased. And during negative half cycle, only D1 is reverse biased. Up to here, this is one voltage doubler circuit. If you are connecting number of voltage doubler circuit, so that's why D1, D3, D2n minus 1, D1, D3, D2n minus 1 diodes are forward biased. Remaining diodes are reverse biased. Understood? D1, the green color diodes are forward biased during negative half cycle. Understood? And D2, D4, and D2n diodes are reverse biased. That means odd number of diodes are D1, D3, okay, D5, D7, like that. Odd number of diodes are forward biased, and even number of diodes are reverse biased. D2, D4, okay, D6, D8, like this. Okay, during negative half cycle. And then during positive half cycle, rectifier D2, D4, D2n conduct during positive half cycle. Okay, under positive half cycle, diode D1 and D3 and D5, D7, like this. These diodes are reverse biased, and D2 and D4 and D6 diodes are forward biased. Understood? So like this, the diodes are conducting. Okay, it's clear. During negative half cycle, D1, D3, D2, N minus 1 diodes are conducting, and during positive half cycle, D2, D4, D2N diodes are conducting. Okay, odd numbers of diodes are conducted during negative half cycle. Even number of diodes are conducting during positive half cycle. Okay, so try to consider. Here, voltage multiplier waveforms. These are the different types of voltage multiplier waveforms. Okay, across the capacitor C1, the voltage waveforms are like this. This is called supply voltage. Okay, and this is called VC1 voltage across the capacitor. That is called VDC. Okay, voltage across the capacitor. Capacitor store the energy in the form of electrostatic. That is called DC. That is called VC1. Voltage across the capacitor VC1. This is called mean value. Okay, so this is called mean value. Yeah, this is the actual value. So this is the actual value. So in actual value, so we are getting some ripples. Because of ripples, because of harmonics, the exact DC we are not getting. Okay, but actually, so by if you are taking mean value, so you are getting exactly DC. Okay, here across the capacitor C1 like this, voltage V maximum. Na? Voltage across the capacitor is V maximum. You know well. Across the capacitor C1, V maximum. Am I right or not? So that's why the voltage across the capacitor VC1 is this much of voltage only. Okay, understood. Try to understand this C2 voltage across the capacitor C2 and voltage across the capacitor C1. So here across the capacitor C2, 2 times voltage, 2 times voltage, double or voltage doubles here across the capacitor C2. That's why here C1 is this much of magnitude. Okay, and C2 is this much of magnitude we are observing. Approximately double. Na? Up to here only C1 we are observing. We have to observe up to C1 here, but here across the capacitor VC2 is very high. Na? Okay, so this is called actual value. Okay, and the mean value, the exactly DC VC2, and then like that the voltage across the each capacitor goes on increasing like this. Okay, so voltage across the capacitor C2 is sum of the supply voltage and voltage across the capacitor C1. Voltage across the capacitor C2 is nothing but sum of the, so voltage across the capacitor C2 here, voltage across the capacitor C2 is nothing but sum of the supply voltage and C1 voltage across the capacitor C1. Understood? The mean value VC2 is less than the peak positive value of sum of VCAC plus VC1. VC2, that is called voltage across the capacitor, is less than the peak positive value of sum of VAC plus VC1. Okay. This means the value of voltages across the all capacitors C2, C2N can be derived like this. So that means voltage across the capacitor VC2 is nothing but VAC plus VC1. Okay. Voltage across the capacitor VC2, VAC plus VC1. Voltage across the capacitor VC4, VAC plus VC3. Understood? Voltage across the capacitor VC4 is nothing but VAC plus VC3. Understood? Voltage across the capacitor VC4 is nothing but VC3 plus VC. VAC plus VC3. So, like this manner, we are getting the voltage across the respective capacitors. Okay, like that, the mean values of voltages across all capacitors C2, C2N can be derived like this. Understood? It's clear. And then circuit operation. Circuit operation, all of you concentrate on circuit operation. So simple concept, nothing is difficult. First, the first stage of Cockcroft-Walton voltage multiplier consisting of voltage doubler circuit formed by rectifier D1, D2, capacitor C1, C2, and a transformer T. You know well. Okay, under first stage, that is called voltage doubler circuit. First stage is nothing but voltage doubler circuit. Under this D1, D2, C1, C2, these are the different type of components we are using. Okay, a number of voltage doubler circuits are shown to be added in series or cascaded to obtain higher voltages. Okay, I'm already explained. By connecting number of voltage doubler circuit in series or cascaded, we are to generate very high voltage. If number of stages are added, then peak DC voltage developed will be 2n times the peak secondary voltage of higher voltage transformer, high voltage transformer. 2n times we are getting. Okay, I think you know well. The capacitor C4 is charged to 4 volts, 4V maximum, and similarly, capacitor C2n will be charged to 2n V maximum with respect to the ground. With respect to ground, across the load. Okay, 2n V maximum is the much across the load. So this much of voltage we are getting. For example, it is n is called the number of stages here. Okay, if 2 stages, that is called simple voltage double. Two stages. 2 to the 4, 4V maximum we are getting, like across the capacitor C4, 4V maximum we are getting. Okay, if 3 stages, 3 to the 6, 6V maximum we are getting. Okay, so the individual capacitor in every stage will be have a potential of 2V maximum. It's clear. The individual capacitor in every stage will have a potential of 2V maximum. It's clear. And here rectifier D1, D3, D2n minus conducting during negative half cycle. I'm already explained. And rectifier D2, D4, D2n conducting during positive half cycle. Okay, understood. Voltage across the capacitor C2 is the sum of the supply voltage and voltage across the capacitor C1. You know well. The main voltage VC2 is less than the peak positive value sum of VAC plus VC1. Okay, and the main values of voltage across the capacitor, all capacitor C2, C2n can be derived. Okay, so like this. It's clear. So current waveforms, all of you try to concentrate here. Current waveforms. Current waveforms. Here C1 across the capacitor, this is the current waveform. Across the capacitor C2, this is the current waveform. Okay, so try to all of you concentrate here. During starting condition, current flowing through the capacitor C1 is Ni times. That is means maximum current generated from the supply. Okay, so from here onwards, C1, this year onwards, this is called Ni current, N into I. The current generated from the transformer here, N into I. Okay, that's why the current magnitude is very high, charging and discharging current flowing through the capacitor. Okay, the current magnitude is very high compared to C2. So Y means, so N into I current, this is called N into I current, that current here and here onwards, and then divided into C3 and D2. It's dividing across the circle. Okay, it's node. The current is dividing like this manner. Right? The live current is dividing like this manner. If the diode due to forward bias condition, the current is dividing, and the capacitor charges so like this manner. Okay, understood. So that's why the current during starting condition across the capacitor C1, the current magnitude is very high. Okay, and across the capacitor C2, that is called N minus 1 into I times. Okay, so that's why this current magnitude is so this much level. Okay, and C2 N minus 1, this is the magnitude of current. This like this. Okay, so current here goes on decreasing, and voltage goes on increasing. Understood? Current levels are increasing and voltage levels are increasing across the load. It's clear? All of you completed. Current waveforms across the capacitor C1. So you are getting N into I times the current cap. So this much of current appear across the. This is the magnitude of current. Here N minus 1 into I. This is the magnitude of. Okay. Finally, it comes to complete DC. Okay. So circuit average. So this current come like this manner and divide into like that. The current magnitude are decreasing when here current across the C1 is very high compared to current flowing through the C2 n minus 1. Okay, it's clear. So all of you write here total ripple voltage equation. Ripple voltage del V is called ripple voltage, total ripple voltage equation. IL divided by FC into n plus 1 by 2. Okay, IL divided by FC into n plus 1 by 2. Here IL is called load current from rectifier. F is called supply frequency. C is called equal capacitance of capacitors in each stage. And N is called total number of stages. Understood? Total ripple voltage equation. So del V total is equal to IL divided by FC into n plus 1 by 2. Okay, IL load current, frequency, equivalent capacitance, number of stages. N is called number of stages. This is called total ripple voltage. It's clear. And voltage regulation or voltage drop, voltage regulation or voltage drop. This is the equation del V is equal to IL divided by FC into 2 by 3 n cube plus n square by 2 minus n by 6. Voltage drop equation. Del V is called voltage drop. IL divided by FC into 2 by 3 n cube plus n square by 2 minus n by 6. This is the voltage drop equation. And next, optimum number of stages for minimum voltage drop. Okay, optimum number of stages for minimum voltage drop. N optimum is equal to square root of V maximum FC by I. Okay, N optimum is equal to square root of V maximum into FC by I. V maximum is a peak rated transformer secondary voltage. Okay, so optimum stages, you have to require optimum stages. Okay, then only the voltage drop is minimum. Otherwise, if you are using more number of stages, the voltage drop is maximum. Okay, to reduce the voltage drop, you have to use optimum number of stages. Okay, that can be found by using like this. And optimum is equal to square root of V maximum FC by I. And next, maximum possible output voltage. So this is the equation, maximum possible output voltage. V naught maximum is equal to N optimum into 4 by 3 into V maximum. Okay. Maximum possible output voltage. Maximum possible, this is called a maximum possible output voltage. Then only we are getting maximum output voltage. Otherwise, less output voltage. The efficiency of the COCKROFT-WALTON type multiplier circuit is decreasing if you are using more number of stages. Okay, irrespective of these equations, irrespective of these conditions, if you are designed a multiplier circuit, okay, the voltage drops will be more. So we are getting very less voltage. So to get to maximum possible output voltage, these are the conditions must and should follow. So V naught maximum is equal to N optimum into 4 by 3 into V max. Okay, so this is about COCKROFT voltage multiplier circuit. To obtain this from this today, so we are completed this from COCKROFT-WALTON multiplier circuit. Okay, so to obtain very high voltages, simple circuit, by using simple circuit we are completed. And the maximum output DC voltage obtained using in stages, and the circuit will be less than 2 NV maximum due to voltage regulation. Okay, it is economical to use high frequency and low value of capacitance is used to obtain minimum ripple voltage. Okay, so this is the summary of this circuit. And then all of you take this question based on that problem, sir. Based on that formulas, we have to find the different types of voltage drop, ripple, regulation, and optimum number of stages. All of you take this question. A COCKROFT-WALTON type voltage multiplier has 8 stages with capacitance all equal to 0.05 microfarads. Okay, all capacitors are equal, that is called 0.05 microfarads only. The supply transformer secondary voltage is 125 kV. Okay, V maximum. C, at a frequency of 150 Hz, if the load current to be supplied is 5 milliamps, I is equal to IL is equal to 5 milliamps. Find first one percentage ripple, second one base called regulation, and the third one, optimum number of stages for minimum regulation or voltage drop. It's clear.